In this video, you'll learn about deleting objects from core data. The objective of this video is that you can delete managed objects. So we've learned how to create managed objects, we've learned how to save them, but of course, you also need to be able to delete objects that are no longer needed. So how do you delete objects in core data? Well, it's actually quite simple. It's something that you do on the managed object context. So you ask the managed object context to delete an object. Let's look in the documentation. If I search for NSManaged object context, I'll find a method called delete. It takes an object, a managed object, and that's it. Now, there's a little bit of nuance here. Just like every other operation you do to modify the objects in a managed object context, when you call delete and pass in an object, the object is not immediately deleted from the persistent store. The object won't actually be deleted from the persistent store until you call the save method. And if the object was never saved to the persistent store in the first place, delete simply removes it from the managed object context, and the next time the context is saved, that object is not saved to the store because it was deleted before it was ever saved. Just remember that as with all changes you make to objects in a managed object context, those changes are not saved to disk until you call the save method on the context. All right, I'm going to add another button to my storyboard, and I want you to follow along. So I'm going to add a delete button here. And I'll go ahead and, because we've got two buttons now, I'll embed them in a stack view and just center that stack view. Constrain it horizontally and vertically. Okay, so I'll add an action for my delete button to the view controller. I'll call it delete building. You should do this too. And then in this action, we're just going to fetch a building. So I'm going to copy and paste the code out of fetch. Instead of printing it, we're going to get the first building. And then we'll delete that first building. So we'll call delete on the managed object context, pass in the first building, and then we'll save. And I'll change this to error deleting. I want to point out that fetching and saving are both error throwing methods. Delete is not, so you don't need to try, you don't need to put this in a do catch block. And again, I'm saving after deleting because the deletion won't actually be committed to the persistent store unless I do that. Okay, so I should be able to run the app now. And if I click fetch, I will see the one building, headquarters. If I click delete and then fetch again, I don't see anything. So the managed object context has been cleared because there was only one building in it and we deleted that building. If I quit the app and rerun it and click fetch again, the building is still gone. So to recap, to delete a managed object to delete a managed object, you call the delete method on its managed object context and pass in the object you want to delete. And then make sure you save if you want that deletion to be committed to the persistent store. And that's really it. So a little challenge for you, open up your people app, and in the viewDidLoad method, after you fetch people, delete all of them, and then save the context. And then restart the app and comment out that deletion. Restart the app and verify that the deletion actually got saved. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.